Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of WrestleZone, and today I am joined by the sweetest, the sassiest, the most charming thing to ever step into a ring, Kaci Lennox. How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you? It's good to
I'm
see
s-
you.
yes, I think last time we did audio only, so I think this is our first time like face to face. So,
Yeah.
and you've been doing a lot, my friend. Obviously, the last time we talked a lot about your journey, coming back into wrestling, but you've done a lot since then. It's been about 4 years, which is
I know.
crazy. And
It's so long.
you've kind of tweaked yourself a little bit. The last time we talked, you were known as the Charm City Angel. You're still repping the Charm City proudly, but you are now the sweetest, the sassiest, the most charming thing to ever step into a ring. Talk about the decision to kind of tweak your moniker, your nickname a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, I am a Gemini. We are in Gemini season, so yeah. But so Geminis kind of have this stigma of, they're nice and then they're like the
Yes.
devil and yeah. So Baltimore actually has the same, I guess, kind of stigma, and that's kind of where Charm City came from. So that is why I use sweet and sassy. So like sometimes I'm sweet, sometimes I'm very sassy. A lot of times I'm very sassy. And I don't like realize that I'm sassy, but I guess I am. But yeah, that's kind of where it came from, and kind of like me being a Gemini, me being like nice, and then me being like mean, and then Baltimore being the Charm City, which I learned that they named it Charm City because the crime rate was so high and they wanted I guess like more tourists to come in. So they kind of like put the Charm City moniker on Maryland or on Baltimore, so that it would seem like it's a friendly destination. So it kind of works because like Baltimore being, crime city, and they want it to be nice. So I don't know. To me, it kind of works, but it's really just off of the Gemini me being nice and then mean and then nice
Now,
again and then mean.
you're based in Florida now still, right?
I am, yeah,
So,
Orlando.
so I'm so curious. In comparison to Baltimore, would you say Orlando kind of has that same like sweet and like kind of I don't know. How would you describe the differences, the environment between Orlando and Baltimore?
Okay, so Orlando is very much not a city town. So it's not a Baltimore or like a
Yeah.
New York or anything like that. I feel like everybody here is just very, I don't want to say nice, but it's very like but no, it's very like not like local mom and pop shops, not very like Baltimore, but like very, I guess, like I don't want to say hippie, but I feel like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Like
lax.
yes, like it's very chill. People are just riding their bikes down near Lake Eola. It's a lot of like
Yeah.
um
Obviously a lot more
farmers
beaches.
market.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot more beaches, a lot more. Which I'm going to the beach in like 2 weeks, and I'm so excited.
Right in time for summer.
No, I know. We're going for my birthday. I have to go Monday through like Wednesday. Just because every weekend is booked this month for me. So yeah, we're gonna have a
Well,
little weekday trip.
that's good. Booked and busy, Casey. We like to see it and
Yes,
everything.
me too.
Um, Obviously, I assume you're used to the temperature differences definitely now to that Orlando
Oh,
heat. Or how long did that take you to get used to that in comparison to Baltimore, which is more way more northern, I should say.
yeah. I feel like, and my work friends and I say this all the time, we feel like it gets hotter and hotter every year. Um, like we're not even in summer and our temperatures are reaching literally 90 with a feels like 100.
Yeah.
So we feel like it gets hotter and hotter every year, so that's not good. But I don't know. I feel like I adapt it very quick. I guess maybe I've just always been a summer child. Like I've always enjoyed the heat. So I feel like I've adapted quickly. I hate the cold. So this is my thing. I love it down here.
That's fair. See,
Um,
I'm the opposite. But then again, I've only
you
lived in
like
the
the
north.
cold?
Yeah, I get really like after a certain temperature, like I'm not even gonna say you're gonna be like 80 is nothing, but like once it hits like 80, I get like really irritable and then I get really grumpy when it's like I just don't like that sticky feel. You're used to it though at this point. I am
I'm
not.
so
So
used
so
to
so maybe after a while I would maybe get used to it. I don't know. But like
it.
heat, just not my thing. So you can keep the heat. I'll keep the cold. I think we have a
I
deal.
will. Yes. Let's shake on it. We shall shake on it.
No, obviously going back to your character that's kind of inspired by your Gemini essence, you've obviously evolved a lot since the last time we talked to, especially you still have that confidence, but you're also a lot more like your nickname and for is sassy and sweet. So can you talk about the process of developing yourself and the evolution that you've had in from a character aspect in the last, it would be 4 years now?
Um, so I guess back when I first started, it was a lot of like heavy character work, like
Yeah.
within WWE, TNA or Impact. Um, and I feel like somebody once told me that your character is you, like elevate it. And that is me. Like I'm honestly a homebody. Like other than outside of wrestling, all I do is get up, I go to the gym, I go to work, and I come home and literally turn on HGTV because that's my jam. Like I don't do much outside of here. So what you guys see in the ring is like me like elevate it. So
Yeah.
essentially what the person said. So that's just kind of how that's what my character is. It is me. Like maybe I don't think that I'm loud and obnoxious and whatever. My
Yeah.
work friends tell me that I am loud and obnoxious. So when I'm in the ring, I personally think that I am like louder and obnoxious. So maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just regular.
You gotta
Uh,
exaggerate it in the ring. You kind of gotta be loud and obnoxious. That's a perfect excuse to be loud and obnoxious, especially if you're
it
heel.
is. It is. And I get a lot of like when I think to character work, I look at Chelsea Green for a lot. My favorite, like she's killing it right now. So what I hope I do in the ring, I hope I'm like I don't want to be her, but like my character movements and like facials that I do,
Facials,
like
yeah.
yeah, I picture like what she would do, and it probably doesn't come across like that, but I definitely like am picturing her in my head and like trying to emulate what she does. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, like character wise, just still figuring it out, I feel.
Yeah, and the good thing about wrestling too, especially on the indies, is you kind of have that creative freedom to experiment or to make those pivots or to reinvent yourself or to sharpen it up a little bit.
Hmm.
So you can always experiment too, because there's going to be certain scenarios where you're babyface, where you're heel, and you can bring out certain things and to kind of test the waters. So that's the
Yeah.
beauty of it. You don't have to commit to one thing necessarily. And
Hmm.
you're always evolving, obviously, as you progress in your career now. But one thing that has been constant with you've always had a strong ring gear game. Obviously your fits are real. You've I feel like you've got the silhouette down. Obviously the colors and the like the prints and all of that are all different. So within the ring gear department, what are some of your general sources of inspiration when you're crafting and envisioning your ring gear designs?
Okay, so what are my inspirations? I love Megan Thee Stallion. Like her, I look at like her outfits on stage. I look at like
Yeah.
um J-Lo's outfits. I look at her outfits and I like screenshot. You know how it like has like Facebook ads and it'll have
Yes.
like just whatever
Yes.
clips from their shows. I will literally like pause a video and like screenshot and say I'll send it to I use ellipsis. I'll send it to him and I'll be like, I want this. um, but like for a while I didn't really know like what gear I actually wanted. I was very basic. I had like um the cross thing here. It was like a hole and then it was like a cross thing here. And then I just had like regular bottoms with like a beige trim. And my gear is it's still pretty similar, I feel. Um, but like I'm moving into different tops and like you said, different color schemes. This year I plan on doing a similar bottom, but different tops for every set of gear.
Ooh. Hmm.
So that's exciting. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I just go and screenshot what I like. Um, I love a lot of Tiffany's gear. I love a lot of Carmela's gear. I love Chelsea's gear. And I will
Yeah.
definitely like I screenshot all of those gears as well and also send it to them and be like, hey, can you make me something like not the exact same, but like similar? So yeah, that's kind of
And
my
put
gear
put your own little
history.
twist on it. You have like at least so well, the one I'm thinking of, I feel like it's kind of a staple of yours now, the pink gear with the white, gold,
Yeah.
and black accents.
Yes.
I can't I think there's like a print, like part of the gold is maybe like some kind of animal print. I can't think. But I see you like putting the little details into there, into like the trims and the like the border outlines and all of that. So I think that's a way of putting your
Yes.
own little twist on that. So I'm curious. I feel like again, to me, that's kind of a staple of you. Obviously, it's like I think it's your profile. It's your one of your pinned Instagram posts. Is there a particular story behind that gear in particular?
Behind the pink gear, I feel like I got it so long ago.
Fair enough.
Um, I don't think there was a story behind it. Maybe I think maybe I just wanted pink gear. That was actually the first set of gear that I like that has the most detail. So it has like the pink base and then it has like the black, white, and
Yeah.
gold. That gear was actually the worst set of gear to
Oh
be made.
no.
No, so like the top was fine. The top has been the same top. But that was my first set of gear that I did I guess like the strings on the side.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to be a um strings on the side and it was supposed to be tighter, not tighter, but like closer at the top. So you know how it's like mesh on the side. So
Yeah.
closer at the top and then it's supposed to open up at the bottom. Yeah, that did not happen for the first set. Or for the first pair. They did not fit. I could not like nothing was covered. So very awkward.
Yeah.
But we finally figured it out. And yeah, that's one of my favorite sets. People love me in that set. Maybe pink just complements my skin tone very well.
From the
Um,
lighting right now, I can't tell if it's a really bright pink or if it's a red. From the
it's
lighting
a
though, it looks like a
pink.
very bright pink. Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say.
pink. I just got it.
Yeah, I think pink is your color. Like especially like
Thank
the
you. Thank
vibrant
you.
pink. Obviously, you've got other your red gear is also really gorgeous too as well. So maybe those red pinks I feel like
Yeah.
seem to be your color, you
See my
know?
color scheme. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I actually like my gold that I had made years ago,
Yeah.
that I literally put through so many transitions. So it was a two-piece at first, and then I made it a one piece because we were experimenting with one pieces, or like it wasn't a whole one piece. It was like you know how Mercedes has her gear sometimes and it's just in the front.
Yeah.
It was like that. And then I finally was like, ooh, I don't like this. And I just went to high waisted. So that was a whole thing. Because your girl, listen, I'm a little thick over here. We're not gonna get abs just yet. So we gotta hide the things that don't work. So that was kind of the story behind the trying to do the one piece. And then eventually I just didn't like it. So I was like, screw it, let's just do high waisted. And at that time, like Candace was doing high waisted gear, like a whole bunch of people were doing high waisted gear. So I kind of just stuck with it. And I like it. It's cute.
Honestly, I love good high-waisted pants and
Me
high-waisted everything,
too.
honestly. So I totally
Me
relate on that
too.
level.
Me too, girl.
You know, the last time we talked, we talked about you slowly gaining confidence, especially because you had opened up about some of the body insecurities related to modeling and then just yourself in general. So I'm sure confidence is probably one of them too that's kind of grown over time. But how else do you think that you've grown as a person and as a competitor, throughout your career thus far?
I feel like I've really grown, I guess, just within the past year or two.
Yeah.
Changing schools has definitely helped in that. Like I'm at D-Bon's now. And for a while, like I would always, I don't want to say do the bare minimum, but like I wouldn't be pushed as hard as I am now. So that has definitely helped grow my confidence, grow my skill set. Um, kind of, yeah, I feel like that's just how my confidence has grown over the past few years. Like even in things like just going to the gym, like I would lift weights that are baby weights for me. Like I can lift heavier. Um, and I always like I had in my mind like, oh no, I can't do this, but like I can, like anybody can. You can literally do anything you set your mind to. But definitely changing schools and being pushed to, you know, the limits that I should be pushed to, that has helped my confidence grow, or that has helped my confidence grow. Um, inside, outside the ring, again, in the gym, literally everywhere. So yeah, changing different schools, having a different mindset of people around you. Yeah, the change of schools definitely helps.
Been at D-Von since late 2020, I believe.
Hmm.
Yeah, so again, you're going to be going on 4 years at D-Von's now. I see the videos, photos, training all the time. What in these last 4 years now, almost? What is some lessons that you've carried forth into your work or your I guess your just regular training routine now that you've learned through D-Von's?
I would say to just do it. Like like we were just or like I was just saying, like don't be don't be scared to like do something that you're not comfortable with in every aspect. Um, I never thought I would be backflipping, and I'm still not backflipping, but like we we tried it. Um, and I wouldn't have had like the courage to do that if I didn't have the people that I trained with. So yeah, just do whatever you have your heart set on or your mind set on, because what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like you'll fail this time, but you'll do it next time and you'll like have progress and you'll succeed. Um, so yeah, that's definitely something that I've learned at D-Von's. Also, like to just not be so in your shell, you know? Like who cares if you mess up? Like who cares if you repeat something? I repeat things all the time, like I literally just did. Um, who cares? Just do what you got to do. Like do what again, what your heart is set on, what your mind's set on. And just do it. Like it doesn't matter. Don't be stuck in some shell. Like you don't have to be stuck in a shell, you know?
Yeah, it's obviously easier said than done. And but like you said, kind of like you inferred to, practice makes perfect and you get better with each repetition. And besides kind of your own training with Devon, you've obviously also had a lot of learning opportunities, a lot of notable names have come through Devon's over the last year. One of them before her return was Nia Jax. I saw a video of you two training on Instagram. You said you learned a lot from that experience. So if you recall, tell us about your experience training with Nia Jax and maybe some things that you learned from that as well.
Love Nia over here. I am normally the bigger person when it comes to wrestling. Like I'm always fighting somebody who's smaller than me or whatever. So her and I actually worked on, which is big for me because yeah, her and I worked on a comeback for if I work somebody bigger. And I literally had just had a match prior to training with her where I did work someone bigger, and I showed her, and she was kind of just telling me the reasons why it didn't make sense, um, like why I shouldn't do what I did. So we kind of put together a really good comeback. And I still use it to this day, even though I don't work people who are bigger than me, heftier than me, taller than me, whatever. I still use it to this day. So that is something that I definitely have taken from her. Selling wise, she was mentioning how there's like 7 different cameras everywhere. So like while we want to be fast and I love being fast and doing fast things and like things to keep me off my feet, you have to take the time and register to each camera. Like each camera is going to pick something up, you know? So you have to take that time and sell what you're being given, you know? So that's what I learned from her. I'm really excited about the comeback. That's all.
Also, she's just done incredible work as well. Like since returning to, dare I say, this is her best run in WWE, and obviously now new Queen of the Ring, rightfully
I
so.
know.
Um,
Good for her.
I was so excited. I think she's done an amazing job, and obviously getting to work with her ahead of her comeback also is also helping her out in a sense too.
Yeah.
But that's awesome to, be able to take so many different perspectives because there's so many different shapes and sizes and experience levels in wrestling that I feel like you can learn from everybody.
Mhm.
Now I don't know if you two crossed paths, but I saw ahead of her in-ring return at AEW Double or Nothing. I saw the people who people call your twin, Mercedes Moné, who you mentioned earlier. I saw some clips of her training at what I think was Devon's Wrestling Academy with Mio
Yeah.
Yamashita. So I'm curious, was there any crossing of paths during that time?
Not yet, but she often trains
Mhm.
there. Like she literally trains there, I feel like once a week probably. So there have not been any paths crossed yet. But hopefully soon. Like knock on wood. Devon wants us to meet so bad. But she's always like she comes early
Yeah.
and I always come like later in the day. So he he wants us to meet. Literally the first day that I came to that school, he was like, "You know who you look like?" And I was like, "Let me guess."
Yeah, yeah.
But no paths have crossed yet. The only time like our path has actually crossed was at WrestleMania in Tampa. The match that I was part of. So the bunny gimmick thingy.
Yeah,
Um,
Ms.
her match was
Morrison's.
right after.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. That was a day.
I
um,
believe it.
her match was right after, I believe. I just remember like talking to Bianca in the hallway, so that's why I think it was right after. But that was the only time our paths have actually crossed. But she's so busy, like literally, like what she is on TV, the CEO is literally what she is in life. Like it's not just wrestling anymore for her; it's everything.
We gotta get that photo, Casey. We got
I
to.
know, and I don't even. I still don't see the comparison. I
I
still don't
I
see the similarities.
I can see it a little bit, I just know that that's, I feel like we're all like that too. Like, I feel like we all have our own, people say our own like celebrity doppelganger or whatever. We just don't see it
Mhm.
ourselves, which is crazy.
Yeah,
But you've obviously embraced it and she's so iconic. So I feel like you have no
she's so
choice but to
iconic.
embrace it. Yeah.
I know.
You, you
Like
know,
she's gorgeous.
so are you, girlfriend. So are you. Now, at the time of recording this, it is pretty timely because it is just a couple days after AEW Double or Nothing, where we'll say your twin won the TBS championship, also her first match back in literally
Oh.
a year. She beat Willow Nightingale. She's now a part of AEW. What are your thoughts on her win at AEW Double or Nothing and, now leading the charge for with the TBS championship?
So first of all, congratulations to Mercedes. Congratulations to Willow because they both
Yeah.
went out and killed it. Love Willow. I do wish that she would have had a longer title run. However, who knows what this is gonna like lead to? Like we literally had Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale who had a match previous to this. Like I love how it just all came together. So we don't know what's gonna happen after this. Like this is not the end for Willow, first of all. This is I feel like this is literally just the beginning of a major story. So I'm excited. But I am excited for Mercedes winning. She's always been somebody who has stood up for the females in the locker room. She stood up for what's best for the females in the locker room, what's best for storylines, for said females. So I'm really excited to see what she does over in AEW. I feel like what she's done so far without even wrestling has been amazing. So yeah, I'm just excited to see kind of what's next in that story, A for her and Willow, and A what's next in her story for the rest of the females in AEW. There's so many, so it's so exciting.
Yeah, I guess, well, you and Mercedes have now graced an AEW ring, so there's
Yeah.
that commonality as well.
I know.
Um, obviously outside of wrestling yourself, like we said earlier, you've also done a lot of modeling and still do. But if you recall, what did your younger self envision your adult self doing when she got older?
Um, okay, so when I was a child, like under 10, I wanted to
Yeah.
be everything. Like, call me Barbie. I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be a baker. I got into modeling. And then I started watching wrestling in 2002.
Mm.
And that is when I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like, I just need to turn 18 and this is it. Um, so I think like from a very young age, I've always wanted to be a wrestler. Um, I just had like side conquests. But no, I wanted to be a singer when I was a child. My grandmother got me like a karaoke machine so I could practice my singing. I definitely wanted to be a baker. I remember one Christmas she got me a complete bake set. So that was still high on my list. Um, I wanted to do the modeling, obviously,
Yeah.
until they told me that I needed to lose quite a few pounds.
Yeah, we talked
But
about this last time. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but wrestling has always been like front and center for me. Like right now, if I wasn't wrestling right now, I would want to do some kind of like home organization or something like that. Again, back to the HGTV thing. That's just kind of what like my passion is outside of wrestling. Like I love things to be organized. If I showed you my room right now, you wouldn't think that. But but yeah, home organization, it makes me happy and content and when things are clean and in order.
It's also really
So that's what I would do now.
satisfying.
So satisfying. I hate the cleaning part.
Yeah.
Um, but when it's done, it's like I did that. Yeah, like chef's kiss.
Yeah. I love like obviously TikTok is a whole other like thing, but like organizational videos, I do enjoy watching them a lot and cleaning. They're just so satisfying to watch. Now, like you said though, it's annoying in the moments when you're doing it yourself because it can take a while, but those
Right.
compilations, those videos are so
I
satisfying to
know.
watch.
I know. We actually, a coworker and I just organized the back room of the back stock room of one of our work locations. And it's
Mm.
just so, again, so satisfying. I send my mom like videos, like cleaning videos or like organization videos because we just bought a house. So I sent her like organization videos and cleaning stuff, and I'm like, oh, we should try this because it looks like it's gonna work. Just because like it's a whole new process and like there's new things to organize with and to make things easier, to make things look better. So I love organization. I could go on and on.
I'm curious, do you have any I guess it'd be called a life hack or organizational hack?
um I don't I don't think anything like out of the
Okay.
ordinary. I'm a big like, I mean, clear totes. Like I don't think that's really a hack, but
Yeah.
that's my thing. I like to
It's
see what's in every
aesthetically
tote.
pleasing as well. Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
aesthetically pleasing. The only thing I don't like about clear totes is like if you want to like just throw something in there, it's kind of hard,
Yeah.
because you can see it. But no, I don't think there's any like specific hack that I use right now. I just like to keep it organized.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. And there's different things for each different room, you know.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love using just Ziploc bags to like store things. I just literally last night I just reorganized my old gear section because I just threw everything in there.
Yeah.
But I kind of like separated it into Ziploc bags, which helps
Mhm. Mhm.
because yeah, just throwing things in is not the thing, you guys.
Sometimes though, sometimes we're just lazy and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Nothing
I
wrong with
know.
that. Oh, I
I
know.
can only be lazy for a few days, like
That's fair.
2 days. I don't want to come into my room every day and see like a mess, you know?
That's fair. You know what? I respect that. I respect that, Casey. Now, before we let you go, as we're looking towards the future in and outside of wrestling, maybe cleaning your room would maybe be one of these goals. But do you have any personal and professional goals that you're hoping to accomplish over the next year or so?
So obviously I would love to be signed
Yeah.
to any major company. Um, but I want to go to the UK still. I want to do like a whole tour over there. So I love to do that. I want to be signed, obviously. Just still just to make like a household name. Even if I don't get signed, like I think that's always been my like in my head, that's
Yeah.
my goal. Um, yeah, just to make a household name for myself, make enough money to survive off of wrestling. Um, if I get signed, great. But if not, like, yeah, that's just my goal is to make a name for myself, make money, be able to live off of wrestling. And for me, I guess kind of the same reason that I got into wrestling, I want a little girl to be able to look at me in the ring and say, hey, look at her. She's strong. She's beating up people. Like I can do this. So that's always been my goal in wrestling is to have a little girl or a little boy or anybody look at me and say, oh, look at what she's doing. Like I can do that. So yeah, that's always been my goal.
Yeah, wrestling is such a beautiful thing. I know me and you can probably relate to, we I grew up to watching in my preteens and teens, looking up to people from like the ruthless aggression attitude era, PG era and stuff like that. So if you can continue that forward, I think that that's a beautiful thing and kind of full circle as well for
Full
you,
circle, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
After being inspired, now you kind of pass it forward and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, can you please share where the listeners can find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. It's real Kaci Lennox. You guys can find my merch at KaciLennox.com. And if you want to see any sexy pictures, you can go to the link in my in my bio. But it's actually just it's Kaci.com. So go to that. Um,
And that's
um,
KACI, by the way.
KACILENNOX. So yeah, you can find me there. I'm very active on all my things. If you guys ever want to like talk, just DM me or get on my exclusive content page and DM me there. No, but I'm super active. You guys can catch my shows on there. You can see all my match pictures. You can see match clips. You can see cute little sexy pictures. You can see everything on my social medias. So yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me here today, Kaci.
Thank
It's been so
you.
good to catch up. Next time, it'll be a lot shorter than 4 years. I promise you that. And, I can't wait to catch up and see how much you've accomplished the next time that we chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.